What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, former unified British heavyweight world champion Anthony Joshua will be taking on current unified Mexican heavyweight world champion Andy Ruiz Jr. December 7th in Saudi Arabia. Just a few short weeks, right? This upcoming Saturday, we're going to have undefeated Olympic bronze medalist, WBC, longest reigning world champion in the sport of boxing, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, in action again as he takes on Cuban southpaw rival in a highly anticipated rematch, Luis King Kong Ortiz. With that said, I want to talk about the rematch between Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz, right? I just finished watching Teddy Atlas, trainer, analyst, boxing pundit, right? I just saw a video that he put out, an interview on his show. He has a podcast. And on his podcast, he discussed Anthony Joshua's weight loss. He stated that Andy Ruiz Jr. was always a good fighter. It's just, it took the rest of the boxing world to catch up to Andy Ruiz and who he is, right? And so he says that, Anthony Joshua, he says that it's amazing that Anthony Joshua's trainer, Rob McCracken, gets all the blame. He says that Anthony Joshua was still the same guy that won all those other fights with trainer Rob McCracken. He says it's amazing how as soon as a fighter loses, his trainer's at blame, at fault, right? He says, but, he definitely has things that he needs to correct. He's always had these things that he needed to correct. He said, but it just got highlighted when you lose. He says, boy, ain't it funny how when you win, it covers, everybody loves a winner. He said that, but when you lose, as soon as you lose, everybody wants to point the finger, and especially you get a bunch of experts that everybody understands and knows why you lost, and everybody can fix your problems, right? And I have to agree with Teddy Atlas, right? He said that everybody all of a sudden knows how to fix the problem and knows what's wrong. He said, but he said the problem with this entire scenario and this entire situation is the more important people in the situation, do they know how to fix it? Meaning Anthony Joshua's team. He says there's definitely mistakes. There's definitely issues with Anthony Joshua's approach to the sport of boxing. He says he looked like he's wants to be a bodybuilder. He spends most of his time in a gym lifting weights. He say he looked like he's a expert bodybuilder. He says, but at the end of the day, the legends, the boxing legends of the sport of boxing, the gurus, they never believed in lifting weights because they believe that lifting weights hinder you. It holds you back. Muscles weigh more than fat. It demands more oxygen, and it slows you down. You can't get full extension on your punches and so on and so forth. So he highlighted that, this is a big issue when you have big and muscular, right? So he says that, but at the end of the day, they're pointing to the fact that he's too big and muscular as an excuse. He says it's an scapegoat. He says that it's convenient. They need something to blame for the loss because they don't truly understand why they lost. Anthony Joshua don't understand why he lost. Anthony Joshua continues to say that Andy Ruiz got lucky. You don't get lucky over beating somebody to the punch for 7 rounds and ultimately dropping them 4 times. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. Dropping them 4 times and ultimately stopping them. That's not luck. That's skill. And so it's convenient that they point to the fact that they believe Anthony Joshua needs to lose weight. So he understands. He said he believes that losing weight is a part of fixing the problem, but he don't believe that they truly understand that losing the weight is a part of the problem. He believes that they are looking at it from an excuse point of view, right? they truly don't understand why he lost, but they don't want Anthony Joshua to run out of gas. So he says it's convenient. It's they need something to, somewhere to point the blame. So they're pointing the blame at his weight and being too muscular, and highlighting that as the reason why he lost. He says it's a part of the reason why he lost because he ran out of gas. Stamina issues. He was gassed. He said, but it's more mental than it was physical. He says that the mental part, boxing is 80% mental, 20% physical. So, mentally, Anthony Joshua checked out. That had nothing to do with his muscles. That had nothing to do with weight loss. It's just a convenient excuse to say that, we're going to lose weight, and that's going to be our key to victory, when it's not. And I have to piggyback off of that. I have to agree with Teddy Atlas. I think that Anthony Joshua and his team don't truly understand why he lost, because they still looking at Andy Ruiz Jr.'s physique and his appearance. And like Anthony Joshua said, if you look at me, look at him, 9 times out of 10, I beat him. I'm the more superior athlete. So that goes to show that they truly have no recollection and no true definition of why they lost. And they don't understand the sport of boxing to the fullest. Yes, they're knowledgeable of the sport of boxing. Yes, Anthony Joshua has success in his career. Yes, he's a gold medalist. This is absolutely true. But at the end of the day, there's still an issue going on that Anthony Joshua doesn't understand, and that's the skill set, the mindset of the sport of boxing. Teddy Atlas also highlighted the fact that, he didn't display the same want and mindset and inner dog that he did when he faced Vladimir Klitschko, and maybe that's due to the location. When he fought Vladimir Klitschko was in his backyard in the UK, and so maybe that played a huge part in it. So he says that he believes that it's all mental, and he believes that Anthony Joshua mentally is not on board with this rematch, and he believes that Andy Ruiz's style is all wrong for him, and he believes that Andy Ruiz Jr. is going to be victorious. And so do I. I'm in agreement with Teddy Atlas. I think that Anthony Joshua doesn't get it. His team don't get it. And like Teddy Atlas said, his trainer is not all to blame, because when he's winning, you don't blame him. But yes, there is some things that you need to fix, and I'm agreeing. I think that he said that he needs to make it a very, very boring fight. This is what I've been saying. He says he needs to jab and hold. Big George Foreman said the same thing. George Foreman said the key to victory for Anthony Joshua is to jab, jab, and hold. Jab, jab, and hold. If he's not able to do that, he's going to lose. He says because he stands straight up, he allows Andy Ruiz to get on the inside. Andy Ruiz has been fighting taller guys his entire career. Anthony Joshua hasn't. He fights all different sizes and shapes, right? Because he's always 6'6". So he's going to fight shorter guys, and at times he's going to fight taller guys. There's not too many heavyweights that's under 6 feet tall. So more times than none, Andy Ruiz is always going to fight taller guys, where Anthony Joshua is always going to fight different styles and different heights and different measurables, right? So Andy Ruiz is used to fighting a taller guy. Anthony Joshua is not always used to fighting a shorter guy, and so he says that Anthony Joshua fights with his chin up, straight up in the air, and Andy Ruiz is able to get on the inside because that's second nature to him. It's not second nature for Anthony Joshua to have to punch down, right? So he has to get used to that. It's uncomfortable. This is what Anthony Joshua also reiterated when he said he don't like to fight shorter guys because they give him trouble on the inside. So I agree with George Foreman. I said that Anthony Joshua needs to jab, use the straight right when it presents itself. And if Andy Ruiz gets on the inside, he needs to tie up. The problem with that is Anthony Joshua doesn't truly understand and know how to tie up. So that presents an issue as well, because he's not skillful at tying up. Tying up a guy once he gets close to you is a skill. You understand? So that's a skill as just as much as a jab and a hook. You have to know when to let him go and when to hold him. You have to know when to hold him and when to fold him. You understand? You have to know who your opponent. Understand your opponent. Study your opponent. Know that when he gets on the inside, he lets his hands go on the break. Anthony Joshua needs to create separation on the break. Tie up. When the referee breaks, create separation, because be on the defensive when the referee breaks you up, because Andy Ruiz lets his hands go on the break. So these are things that Anthony Joshua needs to understand, and I don't truly think that he grasps that, and this is why I favor Andy Ruiz Jr. to be successful in the rematch. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Bluebud Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Bluebud Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.